Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that not only affects how long we live, but how well we live. We'll be diving into the science and lessons from the Blue Zones, five unique places in the world where people live exceptionally long, healthy, and purpose driven lives. This presentation is based on research and real world evidence. So let's begin our journey towards understanding how people at Blue Zones lead healthier and longer and more meaningful lives, starting with one powerful concept: purpose. So, what are blue zones? Blue zones are five places in the world where people live significantly longer than the rest of us. Many residents reach 90 or even 100. But what's most remarkable about these people is how long they're able to stay healthy and active, typically well into their old ages, even up to their 90s or to 100. These zones were identified by National Geographic researcher Dan Wetner, who studied areas with unusually high numbers of centenarians, people who live till 100 or above. The five regions are Okinawa, Japan, known for strong social bonds and a sense of daily purpose, coming back to purpose, and social bonds being their purpose. Sardinia, Italy, where elders live in multi generational homes and stay active into old age. Multi generational homes and family is the purpose here. Nicoya, Costa Rica, people have simple diets, outdoor labor, and a deep commitment to family here. So, purpose again when it comes to their family and health. So Ikara, Greece, which is famous for naps, natural movement, and low rates of dementia. Here, this actually connects somewhat to purpose, as we'll talk about later here. And then Loma Linda, California, a faith-based community, purpose being in religion, with a plant-based eating based diet and strong community ties. Despite being scattered across the globe, all five regions have similar habits, movement, relationships, diets, and low stress, and most importantly, a sense of purpose. And their longevity isn't just about genetics, actually, it's about their daily choices and environments that support well being, meaning we all can actually apply these to our lives as well, starting today. One of the most powerful common threads across all blue zones is that people live with a strong sense of purpose, what in Japanese is called Ikigai, which translates to a reason for being. Ikigai isn't just about a job or career, it's an intersection of four meaningful questions: what you love, what you're good at, what do people need, and what you can be rewarded for as a whole. And in Okinawa, for example, people don't think retire the way we think about retirement. Even in their 80s and 90s, they stay active in roles that give them meaning, like tending gardens, helping neighbors, sharing wisdom, caring for grandchildren. They wake up each morning with a reason to get out of bed, and that reason adds years to their lives due to the feeling of personal fulfillment and happiness that is caused. Science supports this as well, showing with multiple studies showing that basically, having a strong sense of purpose can add up to 7 years of your lifespan. It helps reduce stress hormones, low risk of stroke and heart disease, improve happy hormones such as dopamine, boost sleep quality, strengthens the immune system, and can even help people bounce back from emotional challenges. But it's more than just physical health. People with purpose feel more energized, confident, and resilient. They're more optimistic and typically will go and indulge in better, healthier lifestyle choices because they have more of a meaning that they care for and have that desire to take care of themselves for and will pull away almost from those immediate desires of life. And purpose also gives structure to the day. When you know why you're doing what you're doing, it's easier to stay motivated, focused, and fulfilled. So whether whatever purpose you have is helping others, creating something, advocating for a cause, what matters is that it is yours and that it guides your life and how you live. So let's now look at what purpose actually does on your body and why it's super important and one of the most powerful health tools you have. So when you truly know your purpose, when you feel like your life has direction, your daily choices start to change, you're more likely to eat healthier, get enough sleep, and avoid harmful habits like smoking or processed foods or junk foods. And why? Because your brain begins to value your body more. You start seeing your body as something to take care of and your health as important because it is a vehicle that helps you accomplish your mission. But here's also another biological facet. Having purpose lowers stress levels. How? It reduces the production of cortisol, the main stress hormone. High cortisol over time damages your immune system, raises your risk of heart disease, and causes inflammation throughout the body. But people with purpose produce less of it, and their bodies recover faster from stress. And mainly, they produce less of it due to increased happiness levels. Their heart rate slows more easily, their breathing becomes calmer, and their sleep improves. And that's not just psychological, that's just physiology at work, actually. And purpose also boosts the dopamine levels and serotonin levels, which are the feel good chemicals in the brain. These chemicals are responsible for happiness, motivation, and even controlling pain. When you feel purposeful, your brain rewards you. That's why you feel more satisfied and driven. And when you feel fulfilled, you naturally start to avoid instant gratification, things like endless scrolling, overeating, etc., and sedentary lifestyles. Instead, you chase long term gratification and satisfaction, and you push yourself to do better, not because you have to, because you truly want to. Another impact on your immune system is that something that happens in your immune system is that people with clear life direction and purpose show stronger immune responses, typically through the fact that they're naturally healthier people and take care of themselves better while also having less of that stress hormone and typically more happy hormones, which are inherently good to natural killer cells and the cells of the body and the immune system. And inflammation occurs significantly less due to that lack of cortisol, and immunity overall, as a result, will go higher when there is a lack, when there is a feeling of purpose and a lack of inflammation, and healthy hormones in the body are there. So now let's talk about confidence as well. When you have purpose, you're more likely to set goals and meet them. That gives you self-esteem and gives you a sense of control over your life. From a biological standpoint, confidence is linked to healthier balance of hormones such as oxytocin and lower cortisol, which makes you calmer, more focused, and even more socially connected. Purpose also improves mental health. People with direction have lower rates of anxiety, depression, and cognitive decline. This isn't just mindset. Purpose increases brain activities in areas like the prefrontal cortex, which controls decision making and emotional regulation. And most importantly, when people live with purpose, they live longer. Multiple studies show that people with a strong sense of purpose will live roughly around 5 to 7 years longer as a whole, even when they account for income, health history, or environment, showing that purpose typically can biologically actually go on to help us in various ways and our lifestyle in various ways. So, to wrap it up, purpose isn't just a motivational quote or motivational feeling. It's a powerful biological force. It protects your heart, strengthens your brain, boosts your immune system, sharpens your habits, and brings joy to your life. And that's exactly what we see in the blue zones. So one thing we do a lot in blue zones is that we typically will gather in circles or groups and typically have workshops that are up going to be about purpose and discussing our feelings about purpose, how we feel or what we feel our purpose is. And it's really not that easy to figure out, and that's entirely normal. So generally I and multiple people at Blue Zone have sort of broken it down into these multiple steps. So first is identify skills and what you feel like you're good at. Maybe you're naturally a great listener, or you're good with kids, or you can solve problems under hard stress. Your skills are a gift, and often purpose begins where skill meets service. So step two, identify your goals. Next, think about what you want to achieve, not just in your job, but in life as a whole. What would make you proud years from now? Maybe it's helping your community, building something meaningful, or becoming a role model. Goals give you purpose and a destination. Step three, consider what makes you happy. This one is important. What brings you joy? What gives you energy instead of draining it? In the blue zones, people often build their days around simple things that bring them happiness, like gardening, cooking, or family, or helping others. Happiness is a clue of what your purpose is. Step four, identify your passion. What are the topics, causes, or activities that fire you up? Health, wellness, like I feel, is something I'm interested in, and purpose will often start with curiosity or passion, something you can't stop thinking about. It could be music, teaching, social justice, healing, or even storytelling. Just whatever makes you generally happy, whatever you would say it does. Step five, consider relevance. This step is all about honesty. Which of these things can you realistically apply in your life right now? Like hypothetically, if you're a student right now, you can go on to go and help other students as well, etc. And what's accessible? What feels right in this chapter of your journey? Those are sort of the questions we feel like you should ask here at Blue Zone. Step six, final step, choose what to dedicate yourself to. Finally, choose something you feel called to work towards. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world changing. It just needs to matter to you. Whether it's helping one person, creating art, mentoring others, or building a better future, it counts. What matters is that you commit to it and you truly have a feeling of passion towards it. So, now that we've talked about how to find purpose, I want to share a few simple but powerful ways I and many other Blue Zone advocates practice living with purpose every single day. These are things we go on to do regularly, and they've helped us and many others stay focused, fulfilled, and productive, even if they're not in Blue Zone. And if you're trying to build that purpose in your life, I really recommend trying some of these. First off is dedicating time. First, making sure that you're dedicating time to something that matters to you, whether it's spreading awareness for a cause you believe in, helping someone, learning something new, or simply reflecting. We all treat that as non negotiable here at Blue Zone as a whole. So, purpose isn't just something you really find, it's something you show up for consistently. Even just 20 to 30 minutes a day can make a huge difference because when you consider compounding, you really see how much even small steps will help over a long period of time. And it sort of reminds us that we're moving towards something meaningful that builds sort of that momentum that we need. Second is journaling, which has been a game changer. Every day, writing down a quick reflection of what I worked on, what I'm aiming for, and how I feel. This isn't just simply like one person. This is a lot of different people who do this here at Blue Zone, here outside of Blue Zone as well. And it typically can help us keep track of our progress and process. And journaling helps clarify goals, make new ones, and break them into smaller steps, and helps recognize when we're stuck or when we've grown, and to help give ourselves a pat on the back when needed. And on hard days, rereading past entries, reminding of what we're all capable of, change, and what kind of change we're capable of, and that we've already come such a long way. And there's also a biological side to this. Journaling helps regulate stress by calming the brain's emotional center and activating its reasoning side. It's like giving your brain a deep breath to sort of just go and think and not really feel very stressed. And finally, we use milestones to stay on track. Purpose is big, it's not just something you achieve in a day. So we break it into smaller goals, like checkpoints. These things might be things like finishing a project, hitting a personal growth goal, or even getting through a challenging week with consistency. Just being able to sort of have that clear vision is what matters here. Each milestone will give us something to look forward to and a way to measure progress and a deadline for it too, to sort of make sure we're on track. It really does feel good to look back and say that we did something great. And without clear goals, dreams tend to float. But when we set specific, meaningful goals, they give our dreams direction, and that's what transforms them into reality. So, closing thought is that three practices we all rely on, or at least most of us do rely on, is that dedicating time to purpose is critical, journaling for reflection and clarity, and possibly new goals. Still can apply to dedicating time for purpose too, because that can help come up with goals, and setting milestones consistently and setting realistic milestones that work and setting deadlines for them. And they're incredibly simple, effective, and the best part is anyone can start today. Even 5 minutes of intention can help bring your purpose to life. So, thank you everyone for listening and being here to listen today. And I just wanted to close with some final notes. So, I just want to say purpose is not a luxury, it's a foundation. The people at Blue Zones don't live long, meaningful, and joyful lives by accident. They live that way because their environments, communities, and habits will support that. They live for purpose, connection, and to have that ability to contribute. Whether it's gardening or raising a whole generation of a family, they generally have a purpose that they go wake up for, and they generally truly have that care for. And purpose isn't just a mental or emotional benefit, it's a biological one. It lowers stress, helps happy hormones such as oxytocin, dopamine go up, and will strengthen the immune system, reduce risk of heart disease, and support better sleep schedules. And it makes life feel full. It makes people have something to strive for and makes people feel like challenges are worth it and makes tough times feel better. And also does go on to improve people's confidence and general satisfaction within themselves, which has also been proven to reduce risk of heart disease and improve happiness levels and happiness hormones. And so here's sort of a summary of what we've done together today and what I want you guys to take away. So we discovered what blue zones are and what they teach us about long, meaningful lives. We learned that purpose, Ikigai, is a central pillar in every one of these regions. We learned biological impact of purpose on stress, hormones, immunity, mental health, and that they're all beneficial, that purpose is beneficial for all of these. And we talked about simple steps to discover purpose on your own, and also the practices that I and many others use, such as journaling, milestones, and protecting time to keep that purpose alive. So now it's your turn to ask, what am I really passionate about? What do I feel like I could really strongly to commit to? What do I feel like would make sense at this time to go and live a very purposeful life or to have a very purposeful period within my life? And just remember, it doesn't have to really just be perfect. It just has to be something that you feel connected to. And I just want to take a final thank you note and thank you all for being here to listen here today to this podcast. And I hope this inspired you to look inward, think deeper, and take that first step towards a healthier, more meaningful life. And feel free to contact us and subscribe to help out as well or follow. Thank you.